Giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. That's his true name. Bahashem Yahweh Shai, that's the true name of the only begotten Son. Shalom to the Lord's elect. And I'm going to call this video, there's just got to be an ethnic cleansing of the nation of Israel. There's just got to be. Once again, this video will be called, There's Just Got to Be an Ethnic Cleansing of the Nation of Israel. There's just got to be. When you see crap like this, okay? And our women, beginning with the so-called black woman, has absolutely no shame whatsoever. I mean, she has reached the lowest of degeneracy. And here's your example right here, what you're about to see. I mean, this is just disgusting on all levels. And you always got these sanctified, cranktified, holier than thou so-called black women. They want to get on YouTube and teach the scriptures, but they'll never talk about shit like this. Because as we all know, accountability is like kryptonite to the so-called black woman. Okay, accountability is like kryptonite to her. Very, very rare will she take any form of accountability. It's a damn shame, man. And this is a sign, too, that our nation is totally destroyed. We as Israelites, when you see shit like this. And this is why we don't get no respect from the other nations. Beginning with the Edomites and the other nations. This is why we don't get respect. Because of shit like this. And then you got certain so-called black men that don't think there's nothing wrong with this. You got to be eliminated. If you're a so-called black man and you look at shit like this and you're not pissed off, you got to be eliminated. You got to be part of that ethnic cleansing. Okay? Anyway, this video was put up by Elder Karatazar of GMS Vegas. That's his channel right there, GMS Vegas Sit Downs 144K. That's the title of the video. More reason to stay away from this, from the beastly Big Shirley. Let me read that again. More reason to stay away from the beastly Big Shirley. And so much I could say about this is, again, if you go in the book of Isaiah, because Isaiah speaks about that. Not only are our women, the majority of them, fat and morbidly obese, they're ugly too, inside and outside. And that's the punishment from the Heavenly Father to the nation of Israel. Okay, and I'm going to read it to you. This is from the book of Isaiah, the 3rd chapter. On the KJV side, Judah's women denounce. And Judah's women begins with the so-called black woman, especially the so-called American black woman. And the so-called black women of England, they're not too far behind. They are not too far behind. Okay? Because they're trying to catch up with the so-called American black woman. The so-called black woman over there in England, from what I see. I remember a time when the so-called black woman, this is going back to the early 80s, because I met one when I was down in St. Lucia after I had left England. I met this woman from England, from London, when I was down there in 1983, and she was feminine as hell. She was pretty. She was feminine. She didn't have no goddamn tattoos. They didn't have tattoos back then. And I actually watched this woman eat. I had never seen anything like that before. She actually ate, and then after she finished ate, then she would drink. And I had never seen that before. That's one memory that I remember. and her voice was very feminine. She was very manly, right? And I'm just telling you, gone are those days, man. Okay, from the women that I'm seeing now through the magic of the internet, the women that I'm seeing now over there in England, the so-called black women, ain't nothing like the woman that I saw back in 1983 when I spent some time in St. Lucia after living in America and going back there for about a year or so. That's when I met her, you know. From what I see, the so-called black woman over there in England, they're almost a carbon copy of the so-called black woman over here in America. The only difference is the accent. That's the only difference. But anyway, Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, the 16th verse. Again, the subtitle on the KJV side is Judah's Woman Denounced. On the NLT side is a warning to Jerusalem. And like I said in the last video, you have to be very vigilant and very careful how the NLT is worded. All right? You don't want to make the mistake that I made. Anyway, Isaiah 3:16, moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and you're about to see that in that clip that I'm about to play from the brother's video. The daughters of Zion, beginning with the so-called black woman. When he speaks about the daughters of Zion, it's talking about the daughters of Israel, the whole nation. Even though the daughters of the whole nation, because at the time Isaiah prophesied this, the nation was just about to go into, that is the northern kingdom. They were just about to go into Assyrian captivity, thereby bringing about the split of the nation. So that's why he said the daughters of Zion, that's the whole nation, right? Are haughty, but it begins with the so-called black woman. And haughty means extremely proud, extremely arrogant, proud in an arrogant way. That's what haughty means. And walk with stretched forth necks, again, arrogantly proud. And wanton eyes, undisciplined eyes, you know, even like they might be walking with their husband and they're steady looking at another man, looking at him in his eyes and checking him out in a sexual manner. That's an example of being wanton, which means undisciplined. Okay? Walking and mincing as they go. And making a tinkling with her feet. Right, walking in a sexually suggestive manner. Right? Basically behaving like a whore. Okay? So because of that, what did the Lord say? Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion. That's why the majority of them are bald-headed. The majority of them need wigs or weaves. Now you know why. Okay? And that curse fell directly on our women, beginning with the so-called black woman. She caught that. The women of the southern kingdom, the women of the kingdom of Judah, which is the southern kingdom, they caught that curse the most, especially the so-called black woman. That's why you got so-called black men that can grow their hair longer than the so-called black woman. That's a damn shame, because the Bible tells us that a woman's glory is her hair. So the big question is, why can't you so-called black women grow your hair? Mary Magdalene, which was a so-called black woman, her hair was so long she was able to dry the feet of Yahushua. And that truly is a blessing from the Heavenly Father to a woman, for her to have nice long hair. That's part of her blessing. That's part of her makeup. That's her glory. As it is written, the scriptures don't lie. A woman's glory is her hair. That's why these women spend hours on end in the beauty salon, getting what little hair they have left, getting that done or getting that did, like they like to say. Or they'll actually risk being thrown out of their apartment just to get that silky weave or that silky wig, just so they can slap it on their bald head. Now, why is that? Because they know within their spirit, deep down inside, that that's their beauty. Okay? Which is a nice head full of hair. Again, the scriptures don't lie. So the Heavenly Father have a way of humbling you. So with the so-called black woman, he knew exactly where to hit them, where it hurts. He took their hair, man, because of their, like it said in the 16th verse, because of their arrogance and their whoredom. It says, therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, meaning take her hair. And at one time, believe it or not, the so-called black women had nice, long, flowing hair. Mary Magdalene proves that. Mary Magdalene, the scriptures tell us she was able to dry the feet of Yahushua after she had washed his feet with her tears and the basin of water that she had. Okay? And that's another thing too. Our women were humble, man. They were humble. I remember going back, and this is an experience that I had. I remember when I met that woman back in 1983, she was humble, man. Very feminine, very feminine. And she looked, and I say this, and it's the truth, she looked just like that singer Patrice Rushen when she was young. Okay? Which, by the way, the artist Prince had a major crush on Patrice Rushen. That's where the song I Want to Be Your Lover came from. That song was written to Patrice Rushen by Prince. He was so in love with that chick. Not only was she real pretty and feminine, I'm talking about Patrice Rushen when she was young, she was very talented musically. So all of those attributes combined won over Prince, you know. But that chick, man, she reminded me of Patrice Rushen. They had that same look. And like I said, she was very feminine. There was no tattoos. And I gotta say, she was a little smitten by your man over here. Because the day that I was supposed to leave to come back to America, I was on the airport. She came to visit me. She came to see me off. And her eyes was beet red. So she had been crying a lot. And, you know, I got on the plane and took off. Came back here, you know. So that's just a memory that I have. Right? But Isaiah 3:17, therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. Now I'm just going to go jump down to the 24th verse, because it picks up again. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. Okay? Now we know what that's talking about. And there's a video I watched about 3 or 4 days ago. They had this older woman, right? The title of the video was Grandma was cursing the women out on on the importance of douching, which is how to wash out their vagina, how to keep it clean. You know, a lot of these women, that's a lost art with them. Okay? Because a lot of these women, it's nothing for them to have, especially so-called black women, it's nothing for them to have sex with 5 or 6 men in a day. And these men will go in her raw dog, you know? So you have all these different sperms in that vagina, and it causes a hell of a smell. And these women are so ignorant, they don't even know how to douche. They don't even know how to properly clean out their vagina. Look, a man and a woman is totally different. Okay, yeah, men can get unclean, but women can get far more dirtier. All right? Far more dirtier. Those are facts. You know, you go in a woman's bathroom, it's far more dirtier than a men's bathroom. Those are facts. And women, they need them hygiene products. Okay, especially when taking care of their vagina. So a lot of these women don't know how to take care of it. That's a lost art. So when you go to have sex with them, they smell like a rotten fish market. And that's a damn curse, man. And partly that's partly due to the fact that they have sex with these different men, and they let these men bust up in them raw, and what you have is a well, to quote the words of Tommy Sotomayor, their vagina is like a petri dish of destruction. And I wasn't the one. I wasn't the one who said it. Those are the words of Tommy Sotomayor. Back in the day, he said that concerning the so-called black woman, that their vagina is like a petri dish of destruction. Okay, and a lot of us men, you're really risking your health going with these women and having unprotected sex, because there's a host of STDs just waiting for you. Okay, it's a damn shame, man. Damn shame. Anyway, Isaiah 3:24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. So that's talking about the vagina. You know, when you go in the book of Esther, there was a certain ritual that women had back then before they came to their man. They were purified. Let's read about it. Esther 2:12. It says, now when every maid's turn was to come to go in to King Ahasuerus, after that she had been 12 months. So this is the ritual. She had been 12 months according to the manner of the women. See that? For so were the days of their purification. Now, why do women have to be purified? Because they're more filthier than men. Why do you think women have something called a menstrual? Because a woman is a lot more filthier than a man. Okay? It is what it is. Like I said, you go in a woman's bathroom, even women that are honest will tell you that. Okay? Women and men are not the same. That's what you women got to get through your thick heads. Women and men are not the same. We are not the same. Okay? Men are logical. Women are emotional. You women, your body is far more complex than our bodies. Men are simple, man. Okay, you women are very complicated. It is what it is. Anyway, Esther 2:12. Now when every maid's turn was to come to go into King Ahasuerus, after that she had been 12 months according to the manner of the woman, or the women, for so were the days of their purifications, accomplished, to wit, meaning to know, 6 months with oil of myrrh. So this woman would bathe, or the women, they would bathe in oil of myrrh for 6 months. And 6 months with sweet odors, and with other things for the purifying of the women. See that? So by the time that woman came to you, she smelled like a bouquet of roses. Those days are gone. The average woman now, when she comes to you, especially when she takes off, and this is another reason why you're not supposed to be wearing pants, that muscle you got down there is supposed to breathe. That's why the Lord said that you women were supposed to wear skirts. Skirts, blouses, skirts. Those are feminine women wear. But you women are so busy trying to be like a man. You're not a man. You know, we live in a crazy world. You got men trying to be women and women trying to be men. That's why Yahweh Shem Yahushai, in particular, Yahweh Shai got to come and destroy the society. And as it is written, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as a potter's clay. That's what the wicked have done. Esau, beginning with the top banking families, they have turned everything upside down, especially the dynamic between men and women. And that's why Yahweh Shai is coming to change it back to the way it's supposed to be. Men are going to be men again, especially Israelite men, beginning with the elect. And women are going to be women, beginning with the elect. Okay? There was a song released back in 1979. Might be 1978 or 79. It was a reggae group. Couple of guys, Papa Michigan and General Smiley. Michigan and Smiley. And they had the song Diseases. Now the song is done in Jamaican patois. And when you hear the song, they ask the question, what happened to the skirts and blouses? Jah, you feel lick them with diseases. And that's what the Heavenly Father have done. You could go check the song out. It's called Diseases by Michigan and Smiley. It came out either 1978 or 1979. And within the lyrics of the song, he said, what happened to your skirts and blouses? Why can't I, man, see you in your dresses? Because these things unto the Lord it pleases. He says Jaja, but unto the Lord it pleases. Right? Jah, you feel lick them with diseases. And that's exactly what the Heavenly Father have done, especially in the time we're living in, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushua have licked them with diseases. Okay? STDs are at a rampant rate. Not too long ago, there was some articles dealing with the case of syphilis that came out in Houston, Texas. Right? Jah, you feel lick them with diseases. That's judgment, man. This ain't no joke. But anyway, going back to Isaiah 3:24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent. What do you think that means? A girdle. Now, I remember back in 78, 79, when they used to have commercials. In particular, you had this company, Playtex, and they would offer the 18-hour girdle, the 24-hour girdle. Girdle was something that a woman wore to accentuate her shape, in particular her hourglass figure. So when it says, this is a metaphor, instead of a girdle, a rent, meaning instead of a well-shaped body, a body that's totally out of shape, morbidly obese, like the brothers, and that was really coined by what's his face, Kevin Samuels, and Elder Apostle Ricard picked up on it heavy. He uses the term Big Shirley, and now the rest of the brothers use that term Big Shirley. Kevin Samuels was the first that I heard say it. That's why you have your Big Shirleys. That in itself is a curse. So not only are they funky, they're big and funky. Man, they're not only are they funky, they're big and funky. How about that? So this is what we're reading here, man. This is biblical. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. Jah, you feel lick them with diseases, which the Most High's name is Yahweh. I'm just quoting the song, right? And instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well set hair, here it comes. What you think it means, well set hair? What's an example of well set hair? Look at Mary Magdalene. She had well set hair. She was able to wipe the feet of Yahushua after washing it with her hair. Not with a towel, with her hair. Her hair was the towel. So that right there, using extrapolation, that right there lets you know that she had a lot of hair to be able to do that. So what happened? What happened to you so-called black women, huh? Very few of you have that long flowing hair. Very few of you have that hair like Marilyn McCoo. I remember, when was that? I was watching, what song were they performing? Marilyn McCoo was 1/4 of the group, the Fifth Dimension. It was 4 of them. 2 women, 2 men. No, I'm sorry, 5 of them. 4 of them. Fifth means 5. She was 1/5. Let me get it right. She was 1/5 of the group, the Fifth Dimension, because there was 5 of them. 3 men, 2 women. And the point I'm making with Marilyn McCoo is she had that long, beautiful hair, and that was not a weave. That was a real hair. Okay? And you can clearly see it in the videos. I forgot what song they were performing. It might have been Stone Soul Picnic. All right? Stone Soul Picnic. Which, by the way, that song was written by Laura Nyro. Laura Nyro. Now, Laura Nyro, when you Google her, she died of cancer. When you Google her, she looked like a straight-up so-called white woman. But she was a Jake. She wrote a lot of songs. Good songs. Laura Nyro. Well, they got that song, The Fifth Dimension, they got that song from her. Stone Soul Picnic. So they're performing the song, and I'm looking at Marilyn McCoo. She was beautiful back then. All right? And she had that nice long hair. And that was what added to her attractiveness. Plus, she was really feminine, you know? And this is back in the late 60s. So nowadays you see our women, man, they're not even feminine anymore. You know? They're covered with tattoos. A total turnoff, man. That's why Yahweh Shai, the only answer is Yahweh Shai coming and destroying the society, man. That's the only answer. It says instead of a girdle of rent and instead of well-set hair, baldness. There you go. So that's why they have to wear those wigs. That's why they have to wear those weaves. And like I said, they'll risk getting thrown out of their apartment. They'll risk getting their car repossessed because they didn't pay the damn car note just to get that silky smooth wig or weave. Now tell me I'm lying. That's what these women will do, man. Because it's within their spirit. They know they're supposed to have nice, long, flowing hair because that's part of their makeup. Okay, that's as it is written, a woman's glory is her hair. Okay, the scriptures don't lie. Instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and here it comes, and burning instead of beauty. And again, the majority of these women, especially so-called black women, they're very ugly looking, inside and out. A lot of them look like men, ugly men at that. Very masculine looking. Total turnoff, man. And again, going back to 1983, that woman that I met, she was very feminine. She had a pretty face. I told you, she looked like Patrice Rushen when she was young. You know, the way she talked, her voice wasn't deeper than mine. Nowadays, these women, their voices is deeper than mine. It's a damn shame, man. Damn shame. Anyway, let's get to the video.
Now, do y'all get it now? I'm sure y'all more than got it by now. Why the apostles and brothers always say to stay away from this wildebeest.
For real. Look at that.
Look at this behavior from our...
I mean, that's just disgusting. Look at that, man. That's just disgusting. There's nothing attractive about that. Nothing. But you got certain men that are so thirsty, if you can even call them men, especially so-called black men, he'll F anything. That'll be happy, only happy to get up with something like that. That's just totally disgusting. Okay?
Women. The so-called black women, Big Keisha, Big Shirley.
And then they have to show you how delusional, oh God, look at that shit. To show you how delusional they are, they'll say they're pleasingly plump or they're big boned. No, bitch, you're fat. You're fat and you're morbidly obese. And you're 2 steps away from a fucking heart attack. I don't even want to know your blood pressure. Okay? They'll probably break the damn meter. The damn shame, man. Bible says a shameless woman. This woman has no shame whatsoever. Let's get that. Shameless. And I saw this video. I just had to do a response. Just had to. Normally I don't do videos on the woman. I try to stay away from that topic. But this is a necessity. Ecclesiasticus 26 and 25, also known as Sirach. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. Check that out. But she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. This woman don't fear the Lord. The only thing she fears is missing her next meal. That's the only thing she fears. She don't fear the Lord, and she damn sure don't have a husband. If she had a husband, a real man, a real man would put her in a place. He would tell her, first of all, you're going to have to lose weight. He'd put her on an exercise program, put her on a strict diet. And you just know that she wasn't raised by a father. And if she was raised by a father, he wasn't a real man. Damn shame, man. Damn shame. What is the purpose of that? I mean, really, what is the purpose of that? And like I said, you're going to have so-called black men looking at it and think that that's cute. You're going to have so-called black women looking at that and they'll just turn their heads. Oh, well, you know, I ain't got nothing to say. No accountability. Yeah, man. That's why Yahweh Shai got to come and destroy this society. That's one of the reasons you're looking at it. A big, fat, stank, nasty reason why Yahweh Shai got to come and destroy this society, man. And the sooner the better. One of the last verses in the Bible is, even so, come quickly, O Lord Yahweh Shai. That's written. That's one of the last verse in the Bible, in the book of Revelation. You notice when see, now if that was a so-called black man that had said that, she'd have an attitude. That thing, that morbidly obese creature would have had an attitude. But it was a so-called white man who stood up and said, ma'am, you're going to have to leave, please. She listens to her master, boy. See how quick she was ready to go after making a complete jackass out of herself? Oh, man, you so-called black woman, you. And then you come in front of us, you try to run your mouth and try to tell us that we're going off. Us men here, especially us men that know these scriptures. You ain't got a goddamn thing to say to us, man. If you want to talk, right, you so-called black woman, if you want to talk, you want to teach the Bible, why don't you start getting on these creatures like this? Why don't you start getting on them first? Why don't you clean your own freaking backyard before you try to clean somebody else's backyard? How about that? How about adopting that new wild concept of cleaning your own backyard before you try to come and clean our backyard? Talking shit about the so-called black man when you got shit like this, okay? You so-called black women, you stay losing out here. And this is just another example. You stay losing. You the least desired. Have you checked the stats yet? You're the least desired woman on the planet, man. And there's a reason for that. If you're looking at one of the reasons right now. The least desired woman on the planet, man. You so-called black women. You ain't got a good goddamn thing to say to us, man. Okay?
And she thought that.
And I'm waiting for you to come on the comment board. Okay, you come on the comment board with some fuckery, you're going to get blocked. Okay, because you ain't got nothing to say. This is beyond disgusting. Like, to quote the words of Elder Yashwamba, this is definitely a low point in the black woman's history. Definitely another shameful low point in her history. Okay? You can't tell me any of you sisters out there, you real sisters that got some kind of virtue to you, you can't tell me you got to be happy with this shit when you see this shit. Now, I'm going to allow it in this video. Put how you really feel, you so-called black women out there, you sisters that watch these videos and you're really being edified by them. Put how you really feel looking at this bullshit. Share your comments in the comments section.
That was funny. That was amusing.
Yeah.
This big, overgrown, morbidly obese, high-calorie.
She's about as funny as a dead baby.
Big Shirley went into a restaurant with and she got it looked like a weave in her arm. So she's bald-headed, of course. Weave on her forearm. Half naked, pretty much naked. And she walks in there and do what a beastly creature would do. No etiquette, no self-control, no shamefacedness. This is disgusting on all levels, man. This is an embarrassment. And you see why these men want nothing to do with you so-called black women, man.
Yeah, a real man. A man that has his I hate the inside joke, but that has his faculties in order. A real man wouldn't want to have nothing to do with that abomination. And I don't care how horny you get. If you get to the where you resort to, you want to have sex with that thing, then you need help, man. I'm talking to you men. You need help. If you look at this thing and desire to get carnal with it. You need help. Absolutely disgusting. Look at that, man. And Esau been making fun of that shit for years. What do you think? Google Mammy Two Shoes. Huh? Mammy Two Shoes? You know where Mammy Two Shoes came out of? The Tom and Jerry cartoons. That's Mammy Two Shoes. There you go. See? Google Mammy Two Shoes. There you go. See that? So Esau been making that's the cartoon that the first picture there. That's the cartoon where Tom got busted by Mammy Two Shoes playing. You had a card game going on. I think it was a card game. That cartoon is funny as hell, man. I remember growing up watching it. And then Jerry Mouse, to get back at Tom, called it. No, I remember now. It was Tom having a party at Mammy Two Shoes' house, and Mammy Two Shoes was at another house playing cards, and then Jerry Mouse calls that house where Mammy Two Shoes is playing cards, and Mammy Two Shoes picks up the phone. She goes, "Yes," and then she goes, "A party at my house? Excuse me." And then she came tearing down the street like you see right here. That's the still from the cartoon. So what is the point I'm making? The point I'm making is Esau, because Esau drew these cartoons, right? Esau been making fun of you so-called black woman for years. All right? Mammy Two Shoes. You don't see that much now because Esau's trying to, that's the voice of the woman right here. That was the voice of Mammy Two Shoes right here, the first one. Then after a while, they changed up the voice. They made it sound more Edomitish. But at first, it was that straight up Negro voice. Mammy Two Shoes. Mammy Two Shoes is a fictional character in MGM's Tom and Jerry cartoons. She is a middle-aged African-American woman who is the housemaid in the house where Tom and Jerry reside. She's just a housemaid. She didn't even own the house. Check that out. All this time I thought it was her house. She was just a housemaid. Mammy Two Shoes. So they've been making fun of you. Like I said, you so-called black woman, you stay losing out here. And now look at this shit. Look at that shit. The return of Mammy Two Shoes. And this thing got a smile on her face like she accomplished something worthy. Fucking incredible, man. Let's go.
This is why you're not desired. Men, they're disgusted with you. Look at this shit. In front of children.
In front of children.
In front of people trying to eat and in front.
And heaven help us if that thing procreated. Can you imagine her sons and her daughters, if she has any? That's where your future hooligans come from. The son as well as the daughter. Yahweh Bar Shem Yahushua got to put an end to this madness, man. Restore some kind of order back to our nation.
Children, she goes in there and do that. Man.
It's just speechless. There's nothing you can say. Nothing positive that you can really say. You know? Anyway, I think I've said enough, man. At this point, I'm just disgusted. I'm just going to end it there. Like I said, you women, I'll allow it this time in this video. Voice your opinions, you women that watch these videos. If you come with any fuckery, I'm just going to block you. I'm not even, because you know within your heart of hearts, you know that that's some bullshit, what you just saw there. There's no way you can justify that. So I await your opinions on the comment board of what you just saw there. So on that note, on to the next one.